Hey there, I just wanted to do a quick video of a before of my gem car before I do the lift kit. Wanted to get an idea of the stance. Look at the gap between the front fender and the wheel, as well as the angle of the rear fender. Hey there, I just wanted to do a quick run through of all the parts that come in the gem car lift kit. So let's start with this. Here's the instructions. This is a filler piece that goes between the battery tray and the subframe. These are the subframe extensions, left and right. These are your front shock extension pieces, left and right. And note that the inner one of the pieces has a chamfer. It's really hard to see with the painted, but the chamfer goes next to the welded side. So each of the two pieces have a chamfer. These are the rear shock extenders, left and right. This is all the hardware that comes provided with it. And this piece is an extension for the steering column. So what we're going to do now is open up the instructions and see what's next. Okay, so the instructions say jack the car up, place it on jacks, remove the rear trunk, remove the shock cover, and get the car ready to install the extensions. So we'll see you back. Okay, as per the instructions say, remove the trunk and shock tower cover. But I chose, because my car is an exception to the rule, not that I'm bragging, that is a statement of facts, is that I had to remove the rear fender because my fender's actually been elevated, so it actually inhibited the installation area. And while we're on the subject of elevating your fender, the 17-inch wheels, if you try and stuff them under a fender, they're going to rub, so you need to elevate your fender. And I'll just show you how I did mine. I made this little aluminum piece that actually took the stock fender support and just simply raised it up, like whatever that is, 3 inches, 4 inches. So yeah, so now what we're going to do is we'll remove the shock tower and we'll install those pieces, and I will see you back. Okay, we've removed the trunk and the rear fender to expose for the video the rear shock tower mounts. I have the car on jacks, and I have a jack just sort of simply supporting the rear subframe so that I can take the weight off the shock tower and remove the shocks easily. So I'll see you back when I have the shock tower mounts installed. Okay, here we are at the rear shock extension pieces. They're all done. This didn't take too long. You simply take the pieces that are provided. I used these two bolts, bolted them on and held them in place. Then I used a 3/8 drill bit and drilled through these two holes on either side, bolted them up, and they were good to go. I did choose to use blue Loctite, which did not come in the kit, to Loctite all of my hardware, the two larger bolts and the two smaller ones. And then I chose to use 2 of the grade 8 washers as sort of spacers. As you can see on this piece right here, the shock has a little bit of a gap, not a big deal. So grab yourself a couple of those washers and some Loctite, and you'll be good to go. This will button up the other side, and then we'll move on to the next portion of the install kit. Okay, so we're done with the back. Sorry I can't pull the car out and give you a better shot, but it's raining here in the 95228, but I'm not complaining. We need the rain. So anyways, you can see there's a pretty definite rake on the car right now. It's jacked up in the rear because it's done. And so we will press on to get the front done. Okay, just a quick look. The rear end is done, so you can get an idea of what kind of height we're talking about. So we'll go ahead and start with the front. Okay, so here we are at the section of the installation where it gets interesting. We're going to start to tackle the front end right now. So it's telling us to remove the hood, the batteries, the battery tray, take the steering column off, and the top shock bolts, etc. So I'll get the car stripped down and we'll begin again. So here we are at the front end of the car, and I've kind of didn't document a few steps, but I'll try and go back and sort of show you what I did. So as you can see, this is the filler piece that we saw earlier that goes between the battery tray and the subframe. Here's your shock mounts. We'll get back to those in a minute. What I'm going to do right now is cut the steering stem, and you can see the little white mark right here. That's going to be my cut mark. It's about 2 inches from the neck, and I'll be back when I've installed the extension. Okay, down here in the tool shed, and I am drilling the steering column. I've cut this section off the car, and this is the 4-inch extension, and we are drilling it. Of course, you don't need a drill press, but if you have one, then why not use it? And so I've already pinned this hole, and I'll do this hole and we'll be back upstairs. Okay, I cut the steer stem and installed the grade 8 bolts and used red Loctite to hold these on. I'll now fit this and then drill the column, and we should be good. Here we are at the steering shaft, and I had a little fitment issues, so I decided to just sort of grind and clean up all the paint, because the tolerances on the extension are so tight that if you just try and slide this on there, you're in for a frustrating little thing. So simply just grinding this thing all the way around makes it easy, so you can slide this up and down and then attach it to your rack and pinion. So I'll be back when we're drilled and bolted in. Okay, so before I put the car back together, I will go over some of the stuff that you can get a better look at while the car's apart. So here's our shock tower extensions, driver's side, and here's the passenger side. Gives you an idea how the kit goes. This goes through your stock shock bolt, but I had to flip it around. But anyways, your stock shock bolt goes through here, and these two just secure it up. This is the lower subframe mount and how that works. It was pretty easy. We'll go over to the driver's side now. That's your driver's side one right there. And this is the completed steering column piece. This is the filler piece right here that goes between the battery tray and the subframe. And that pretty much finishes up the installation of the front end of the car. So I'll put her back together and we'll go from there. Okay, well, here's the finished product. 4-inch lift all the way around. I would say it took a better part of a day with all the little idiosyncrasies I had to do, but overall, I like the stance on it. It's not too lifted, but it's definitely not stock. So I think it actually has more of a newer gem car look. 2008 or 9 or above, those cars seem to have a little bit higher of a stance. So that's kind of what I was looking for, and that's what it looks like we got. Okay, that's it for now.